Alright, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to find significant figures of numbers when you're performing operations such as multiplication and division. Okay, so I'm going to write down the number 5.02 multiplied by 89.665 multiplied by 0.10. Okay, so let me switch colors. Alright, the first thing that you want to do when you multiply or when you divide, because they both follow the same exact rules, is you need to ask yourself how many significant figures each one of these numbers has. So for instance, let's start with 5.02. This number right here has 3 significant figures. So I'm just going to write 3 significant figures. This number, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This number has 5 significant figures. And finally, 0.10 only has these two, 1, 2 significant figures. Okay, so that's the first thing you do, and after that, let me erase this. Okay, after you do that, you need to multiply 5.02 times 89.665 times 0.10. So that's, I'm going to use the calculator. 5.02 times, move it this way, 89.665 times 0.10, and the calculator reads this, 45.01183. So 45.01183. This is the number that the calculator gave me. So technically this would be the answer, but because we're dealing with significant figures, we need to round this number. So what you do is you pick one of these 3 numbers up here, but you have to pick the one that has the least number of significant figures. And the one with the least is this one over here, 0.10. This one has only 2 significant figures. So what that means is that the answer can only have 2 significant figures. So it can only have these 2 significant figures right here, which means that you need to look at the number right next to it, this number right here, and ask yourself, okay, so do we round up or do we round down? This is a 0, so this number, the answer to this problem is you're just going to round down to 45. So 45 is the answer to this problem right here. Alright, let's do another example. Let's try this. 56.55 times 0.920 divided by 34.2585. Okay. So again, one more time, the first thing that you want to do is ask yourself how many significant figures each one of these numbers has. So 56.55 has 1, 2, 3, 4, has a total of 4 significant figures. 0.920 has 3 significant figures. And this number, 34.2585, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant figures. Alright, now that we found out how many significant figures each number has, I'm going to plug this in the calculator and find out what the answer is. So I'm going to plug in 56.55 times times 0.920 divided by 34.2585, and the calculator gives me this answer: 1.5186 1.5186 3041 3041, and so on and so forth. So this is the answer that the calculator gave me. But remember that we need to pick the one with the least amount of significant figures. So the one with the least amount of significant figures is this one right here, because it only has 3 significant figures, which means that our answer can only have 3 significant figures. So we're going to leave it to this. This has significant figures. Make sure you round to the number that's right next to the last number. So because this is an 8, the 1 is going to become a 2. So the answer to this problem is 1.52. That's the answer to that problem. And this one has multiple steps. You have multiplication and you have division. Don't round until the end. Whenever you're doing chemistry, if the number is very big, don't worry about it. Leave it big until the very, very end when you have your answer, the answer that the calculator gave you. When you have that, use the significant figures, the least amount of significant figures, to find out where to round your answer. Alright, okay, so those are the 2 examples that I wanted to show you, and let's just continue doing some more rounding. So for instance, if I were to give you the number 2.33, if I gave you the number 2.37, 2.34, and 2.35, and let's say we want to round all of these numbers, we want to round to 2 significant figures only. So if we want to round to 2 significant figures, means we're only interested in these 2 numbers right here. So 2 and 3, we're not interested in this second 3. But we do need to look at it to know whether we're going to round up or down. In this case, the rounding stays the same, so this is going to be 2.3. Okay, one more time, this over here, we're only interested in 2 significant figures, but the 7 is higher than 5, so this is 2.4. It rounds to 2.4. So this is just basic rounding, which you probably remember from middle school or high school. Alright, this one again, 2 significant figures, and it's a 4, so we just leave it the way it is, 2.3. And finally the last one, again, we want it at 2 significant figures, but because this is a 5, if it's a 5 or above, we round up, so this is 2.4. And I hope this video helped. The next video that we're going to cover is a little bit difficult, and it has to do with adding and subtracting significant figures, which is a lot more complicated than multiplying and dividing. See you in the next video.